Okay, and we're back. Thank you, Endless Sexy, for the follow. It means a lot to me. Let me check, make sure my delay is off. It says it's off. Alrighty, let's do reviews on our terrible play. So today's been a bad day, obsession-wise. Um, all dates today. We definitely lost more than two buy-ins. Um, I think we missed a lot of hands here. Um, yeah, we definitely lost more. I think we're closer to $50 down instead of 30. Um, okay, so let's go over the hands we need to go over. I'm gonna do a lot of talking here, so I'm gonna need to like pause and take drinks every now and then. Uh, this becomes really beneficial if you guys join me in chat and give me your input. Let me know how you guys would play a hand, just that type of stuff. All right. Once again, if you didn't watch this last time, I don't remember these hands, so basically we're gonna go at them brand new. Um, I might remember a little bit, but basically I'm not gonna remember any of these hands. I played about 1,100 hands today, so. All right, first hand. Okay, we're sitting with a6 on the button, and we're facing a limper from a unknown because we only have 5 hands in him. So he's an unknown. We should be raising here to 4 big blinds. 3 is our standard raise. Plus, we're having one more for the for the limper here. So we should make this 40. And we do. Correct play. And I'm guessing flats. He does. Okay, so 7, 10, 9 flop. And he checks. Okay, so now we ask ourselves. So we represented that we have a strong hand because we raise pre-flop. So he's putting on us like from ace king. He's putting on aces, ace king, ace jack, ace queen, ace 10, ace 9. Those type of hands. Also king queen, king jack, king 9, maybe king 10 suited, queen jack. He's putting on those also. Um, So we think about this, and this is really good hand to continuation flop, and it's not the worst because 10 is in our range. You know, ace 10, king 10, queen 10, jack 10 maybe is in our range, but most likely not. So really, we should be checking here, and we make a continuation bet. Not the worst play, but it's not the best board to be making a continuation bet on. There's not much that helps us. I mean, all pocket pairs I guess, are in our range, so we could have pocket 10s, pocket 7s, pocket 9s, and he calls. So we do improve to a straight. Okay. The problem is that we have the female end of the straight. So let's see what he does. He checks to us. The straight's really visible. I mean, you can't miss that. I mean, 7, 8, 9, 10. He's obviously thinking the guy has a jack because I raised pre-flop. And since he limp called, is a jack in his range? Yes, because I'd be limp calling with. Well, I don't limp, but I could see people limp calling with Jack Queen, Jack 10, Jack 9 suited. That's all in his range. So this is a tough spot. Basically, you're saying I want to see the showdown, but I don't want to put any more money. So I think checking's not a bad play here, or we can even bet small just to see if he calls. Because if he calls, then he has it. So I would say check's probably the best play, and we do. I think that's the best play here, and it tells us where he's at. So if he bets out, he probably has it, and he checks again. So he checked the straight possibility on 2 streets, and now we're sitting with a straight. So now we could think about, okay, so he knows we have a straight. Um, how can we get paid? And I think a small bet's how you get paid here. So I think if I was sitting in his seat and I bet 70 cents, 7 big blinds here, am I calling with king 10? Probably. So I think a value bet of like 70 cents or under is probably ideal, and we do. We make a small value bet here, and this is just trying to get paid with any pair, and he raises. Okay, so this is very interesting. So he checked the turn, checked the river when there's a straight on there, and now we're thinking to ourselves, what is he doing? Did he just hit a set, maybe, and maybe doesn't know that the straight is out there? That's possible, but more than likely he just slow rolled us, um, and I don't think I'm good too often here. So now we just look at our odds. It's going to cost us another 90 cents, but we're going to win 361 if we win it. So that gives us pretty good odds. I think calling's not the worst thing here, but I think most of the times you're gonna lose. I think actually our odds aren't good enough to even call. Ooh, I don't see when he doesn't have the jack here. I think the way he played that, what do we know about him? Yeah, he called 2-bet from the blinds with queen, queen, 10, 10. He limped and called a raise of jack 2. So his range is everywhere. So I think we fold here, and we got to be beat. But he also could just have anything. But I think folding is the correct play. We end up paying him off, I bet. Yeah, and we paid him off. He had the nuts. Okay. We played that okay. Nothing special. I think we could have got away from the river. But I don't know. I say fold the river. I think more often than not you're beat. He played that way too strange. So, if you guys have anything to say about these hands, go ahead and let me know, and we'll go over them. It definitely helps if just more than one person has an input. Okay, so we have pocket twos here. We're in the big blind. We get an open from an unknown. We should flat and set mine. We do. Okay, we hit a 2. Nice. So I suggest check raising. And we do. Okay. I don't know why we marked that hand. That was pretty standard. We'll try next one. Sometimes I mismark hands, I guess. So an under the gun limper from a 35-20. We should. Oh, and another limper from a 56-9. We don't play hands for free when we're in position. That's one of our big things. So since we're sitting on the button, we're always going to be the last to act. I suggest we raise this. Our standard raise is 3 big blinds, normally +1 for each limper, so we should be raising this to like 50 cents. Play what like aces? Are you talking about this current hand? There is a slight delay still. I'll go ahead and explain. Keep going while you explain what you meant play like aces. So I think we raise this to 50 cents, and we do. And we get one caller. Okay, so we know he's not a bad player because 35-20 is not a bad range. And we hit top pair. Oops, we can see too much. So we hit top pair and he checks to us, and we go ahead and make a continuation bet. I guess I hit play accident. And I think a continuation bet's good here. We do have top pair, so yeah, that's fine. And then he raises huge. Pocket twos. No, we don't play pocket twos like aces at all. No. Basically, we're playing pocket twos to set mine. We're gonna build the pot pre-flop as much as we can, reasonably though, in position. So we want the pot to be big because if we do hit that 2, okay, let's say everyone just limps, okay, and we get 3 people in the pot, so each person put in 10 cents. The pot is 30 cents. We're ignoring rake at this point. So there's 30 cents in the pot. And the flop comes ace, ace 2. Okay. And we bet out, 30 cents. That's betting pot. That's a big bet. Now, let's say we raise pre-flop and we raised it to 30 cents and we get 3 callers. And number, we just bet 30 cents and that seemed like a very big bet. Now we can bet 75 cents and that seems just like a normal 2/3 pot bet. So that's why you try and build up pots. So we get over bet here. 3 bet on the flop with a check raise. And we're holding top pair. And we think about what he did earlier. Earlier, he limped in and called my raise. We know he's not a bad player with his stats. So his hand range is going to be all pocket pairs minus aces, kings, queens. Ace, king is not in his range. But definitely jacks are going to be in his range. Sixes are going to be in his range. Twos are in his range. Jack 2, Jack 6 is not in his range. But I think King Jack is, Queen Jack is, Ace Jack is in his range. I think we should fold here. I think we would be okay with that. I think folding is the correct play, but we called, which is bad, really bad, because he just bet 261 into a $2 pot, so he overbet pot, which is a huge bet. So is it a bluff? No, not at this stage. He has a good hand here. I think fold is definitely the best play. A blank comes up and he checks. Now we're extremely confused. Did he just try and steal that river from us? Or I'm sorry, steal that flop from us? If we go back, here's what this looks like in his eyes. Maybe it could be like, okay, so the button raised pre-flop. What is his range? His range is aces, kings, queens, jacks. It's gonna be ace, king, ace, queen, king, jack. Maybe tens are in there. Race fan, thank you so much for following, man. It means a lot to me. So he's thinking, oh, and if you get aces, I hope they always stack your opponent. So he's thinking my range doesn't hit the board here. Like I was saying earlier, this isn't really a good continuation board. So maybe he's thinking, okay, I'm gonna re-raise him because I don't think he hit the board. So that's possible, and that's what he played. But I still think a fold is the best play here. Checking the turn is extremely confusing. It kind of backs up the theory that maybe he tried to bet me off my continuation bet because it doesn't make sense to him. So we should definitely check back here because the pot is getting a little big. I mean, the pot's 647. We got 665 back. A standard bet here is going to be like $3 to $4, and we're pretty much dedicating our pot with pair of jacks with no kicker. And we do check. I think that's right. 10 comes up, which completes the flush. If he was playing for the flush, it completes that. That's the only other draw out there. I mean, 4-5 is out there, but that's pretty unlikely because he would have bet the turn. So let's see what he does. And he bets small. He bet $3 in the 647. So confusing of a hand that he's playing. All right, so now there is $9.55 in the pot, and it's going to cost us another $3. So do we win this hand once out of every 3 times? No, I don't think so. I think pretty often we're beat. I think pocket 2s, pocket 6s are in his range. I think king jack, queen jack are in his range. Maybe ace jack, but he's not limping with ace jack, so probably not. Is he going to limp with a king jack? Maybe he's limping with king jack suited. Maybe he's limping with queen jack suited, but probably not. He might be limping with 10 jack suited. That definitely could be possible. Maybe 9 jack suited. Maybe he could be limping. I don't see that. Maybe. But I think more often than not we're beat here, and we should lay this down. And I think we do. I think that's the right play. I think there's more often than not we're beat here. His bet pattern was very strange, and it was hard to put him on a hand. But I think he did improve and hit something. So what do you guys think about that? Do you think I read that right, or was I completely off? And you guys can join in. Once again, Race fan, thanks for following. Alright, since no one wants to talk, we'll go to the next one. I want to let you guys know right now, the poker hand review sessions are the most beneficial thing to a poker player. If you can get a group of 5 or 6 players who talk about hands, that is huge. The problem is when you form those groups, people usually don't stay in them, so they usually fall apart. And if you find one that's really dedicated, like really dedicated group, they usually kick people if they don't participate. So I would suggest reaching out and trying to find a poker group and being very active in it and learning this way, because this is pretty valuable. You get to learn very difficult spots, and you get to learn them for free. Odd fold on the river, odd fold to the RR on the flop. Yeah, I would agree. Yeah, that's definitely an option. I'd say that's probably the best play. Yeah, but we're in position, so we do get to see another card for free. But yeah, Jack 9 usually is crushed, so that's good. You could pipe up next time during the hand, so we could talk about it while it's going on, and hopefully it encourages other people to make a discussion. But yeah, thanks for just suggesting that. I think that wouldn't be too bad. But he didn't re-raise the flop, did he? Yeah, he did. He did. He check raised. Um, but do you not think the continuation bet bluff on his side would have been ideal, or am I just overthinking what micro limit players could be thinking about? RR stands for re-raise. I think I might just be trying to overthink what the people's mindset is at this limit. I don't think they're really thinking about my continuation bet range, but maybe he's thinking at that level. All right, so on this hand, we're sitting with jacks on the big blind, and we get a limper. Okay, he's playing 51-2 over 51 hands. That is crazily passive, very passive. We're going to be playing this out of position, which is terrible. Everyone hates playing out of position. But we do have jacks, so we do have to raise, and we should make it our standard 50 cents. 3 big blinds plus 1 for the limper, and we're going to add 1 more because we're out of position. And we make it 42. I'm okay with that. Any flats. Not a scary board at all. So now we think, what is he limping with? And when you face a player who's playing 51% of his hands out of 49, so he's played like 25 hands. Yeah, 25. And we look at an equity calculator at 51. This is the hands he could be playing. Remember, we have jacks, which is here. He's playing everything from ace, queen to queen 4 offsuited. He's playing queen 4 offsuited, king 2 offsuited, including jack 4 suited. I mean, his range is huge. And we look at it versus this board. We should be a pretty big favorite. It looks like 77%. So we do need to make a continuation bet here. But once again, if he's thinking at a decent level, he's thinking, okay, what does he have? Every hand you should be thinking what your opponent has. And he's putting me on a decent range because I'm a 22-18 player. And this really doesn't hit my range, but we do need a continuation bet. And I think we need a continuation bet pretty big because of how loose he is. And I think we can get paid off pretty easy on him. So I'm thinking like 80 cents is a pretty good bet for this guy. We bet 64. We need to go a little bit higher, I'd say, because he's going to call anything. If he hits an 8, he's calling. If he hits a 5, he's calling. If he hits a 3, he's calling. This is the type of player who's calling you down no matter what. And he just goes ahead and flats me. And the ace hits. Okay. That's in our range. We could bluff an ace, but we don't need to really bluff this guy. I think we're still winning. The problem with a 51-2 is he's playing hands that include an ace, and he's just limping with them. So he's playing ace 10, ace 9, ace 8, all the way down to ace 2 offsuit. So any ace is in his range. Once again, we're out of position, so we don't really know. But we do need to bet again because he's pretty bad. And now there are a lot of draws starting to hit. The flush draw, straight draws, 2-4 made it. There's still the 4-6 is out there. Both flush draws are out there. So we do need to bet because we don't want them to see a free hand. And I said we need to bet smaller this time because the ace is out there. And I think we bet like $1.25 or so. And we bet 88 cents. Okay. That's way too small. We just gave him 3.5 to 1 odds on draws. Most likely nut draws. And for him, it's pretty much a no-brainer of anything. Any type of draw. Because he is playing it in position. And he flats me, and then another overhits, plus the draw. If he did run back-to-back hearts, that would be unfortunate. Huh. Okay. So if he's just flatting there, is he just waiting to the river to re-raise us? We'll see. And we check. And he jams. Okay. I think every day here we're beat. And we don't have very good odds. We have 1.4 to 1 odds here, which is terrible. I think this is in my earlier session. I think this is what really caused me to tilt. You fold this every time, and here's the way to look at it. I lost $1.50, $2. I lost $2 if I fold right now. 20 big blinds, 1/5 of my starting stack, or 20%. Not a big deal. If I call here, I lose 100. Is that the smart play? No. Is this player capable of making a terrible play and making this bet with 8s? Yes. To me, it does not smell like 2-pair at all. At all. To me, this smells like I'm terrible and I called anything on the flop, hit my ace maybe, slow played the ace, had the king, like maybe 2-4 he had. I don't know. I think he's such a bad player that, I mean, just by going by his stats, that he can have anything really. 2-pair maybe, but he's going to be betting 2-pair, I would say, because he does need to protect that board. Because I could be on draws. I could have ace king of diamonds. He doesn't know that. And if I have ace king of diamonds, he needs to be betting me off that hands if he hits 2-pair. If he has 8-5, he needs to be betting me off the ace king. So I don't think 2-pair is in there. I think it's more like backdoor flush maybe. Like maybe he had like 5-3 of hearts maybe. I don't know. But we're folding here. I think I call, but I think we're folding here. Yeah, I think I was more curious than anything. I was just gonna donate some money, and I think he showed some bullshit. Yeah, 2-9. That's just mind blowing. I think this is what set me off on tilt. The fold is definitely the river. We're folding that river all day. I think I was a little bit tilted earlier, then this shit happened, and then I lost my 4 buy-ins. There's not much we can do here besides fold that river. Yeah, like, how's he not folding any of the other streets? It's kind of crazy. He should fold the flop. He should have fold the turn. Players like this is who you make money off of in the long run. Because if you do have, let's say you have king 7 of hearts, for example, and it comes up heart, 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 this guy's paying you off because he's playing shitty draws. How much did you bet on the flop? I bet small, I think. Yeah, I bet 64. I should have bet closer to 80 against this type of opponent. Yeah, definitely should have bet a lot bigger. Against a very loose player, make him pay for his draws. But the funny thing is, he's not on a draw. So I gave him about 2.5 to 1 odds, and he called with. What does he even have? He has a 9. He has an overcard. He has like backdoor straight draw, and he has a backdoor flush draw apparently. And he does improve to the flush draw, but he's still drawing. Like, even if we saw his hand, we're still, yeah, we're still a big favorite. So do we give him the right odds? No, he doesn't even have the right odds. So he has a 22% chance to win, 27% chance to win, but he has only 22 to 1 odds. No, I don't know. The river's terrible play by me. You're folding that. You have to fold that. Basically, in the micro level, people aren't bluffing, and if they got it, they got it, and they're gonna bet it. So fold that hand all day, twice on Sunday. All right, 9-8 from the small blind. Okay, standard. Well, I guess that's not standard at all. I wouldn't have even called that 64 cents. Yeah, either would I. I wouldn't even played 2-9 suited anywhere on the table. Unless I got it in the big blind for free. Yeah. Okay. So here, there's 2 ways we could play this. Usually we don't limp, and if someone's gonna play our flop, we're gonna make them pay for it. So most likely in this situation, with your button being that passive, and he's a 42-0, We're probably going to raise here because we have a hidden hand, and we do have fold equity. So I would say bet this to 40 cents, and we do. So we do have the chance of everyone folding around the table. And also, if we hit, it's most likely going to be hitting or hidden, and we'll be able to stack him for his $4. We get 3-bet here, but it's a very small 3-bet. Okay, so he 3-bet me. He's never 3-bet us before, and it's only another 35 cents to win $1.25. So we're getting 22% pot odds. And I think that's okay here because we put him on like obviously aces, kings, queens, ace king, ace queen, ace jack, king queen. I think he's all 3-betting with. Tens he might be 3-betting with. I don't know. So I think we're okay here because the advantage of our hand is it's hidden. We're representing strength, we really don't hand. So I think another 35 cents is definitely okay here. So we flop an open-ended straight draw. There is an ace over card, and we're gonna go ahead and check to him for sure. And he bets $1.20 into $1.60. Heads up, I think we fold this all day. I mean, yeah, we do have a chance of hitting it. Is our chance that good? We have 8 outs, plus a backdoor flush draw. If the flush draw hits are even good, though. Who knows? So I think folding is definitely the play here. Because he does represent an ace. An ace is definitely in his range of his pre-flop 3-bets. Like I said, aces, kings, ace, king, ace, queen, king, queen, maybe jacks, or in queens are in there. So he could have kings, he could have queens, but I think we fold there. And then the king hits. Oh, so same thing. That's all in his range, but he lets me see it for free, which is kind of strange. So that's kind of signaling like, so I made a continuation bet, but it didn't work, and I didn't have it. So now we're just gonna play, and hopefully my tens improve because it looks like my opponent has an ace. Yeah, we would stack him for sure, but that's if he does have the ace. And now we're thinking so much that maybe he doesn't have the ace, and maybe queens are more likely. It's really strange. Just got checked through. So we're definitely not putting him on the ace anymore. We're definitely putting him on like queens or something. And then a 3 hits. I think you just sacrifice the hand and give it up. You had 2 chances to get your open-ended straight draw plus your backdoor flush draw. None of them hit. And we make a small bluff here, which is not a good play at all. If you're going to bluff here, and you're saying, okay, I do have the ace, or maybe I have the king queen, and you weren't showing you had the ace, I think you bet more. So I think I was like trying to show him, maybe I was trying to make a value bet and trying to act strong, kind of like reverse psychology, I guess. But at the micro limits, that's so bad. Just fold this, or check, I guess. Just check fold, and he raises, and yeah, we're folding that. So his range is very strange. That play, I don't know. I feel like he missed equity on the turn. If he did have an ace, I think he should be betting that still. It's kind of weird that he checked the turn through. Like he was scared of that ace. Maybe he had like pocket kings. No, pocket kings he would have bet the turn. I don't know. That's really strange. I'm not even sure what he's on. Well, it's unfortunate we got to see that hand. But with checking the turn, so it's saying he's scared of the ace. The king didn't help him, but the 3 made his hand. That's really strange. I don't know. Maybe he was trying to slow roll us. I don't know. He had position. He should be betting for value. If he had an ace, he should be betting the turn all day there. I think the play wasn't bad on my side, but you could definitely fold that flop. Oh god, we're losing money of king 3. Okay, good. Miss tagged a hand. Alright, king jack. Standard open 3 big blinds, that's fine. We're going to be playing in position to our big blind here. This player is 21-12. We know he 3-bet blind versus steal with aces. Okay. 3-bet range is aces. Okay, so the last time he 3-bet, he had aces. Called 2-bet from blinds. So we know the last time he called a bet from the blinds was he had ace 10, but last time he 3-bet was with aces. So we don't know much about him, just that his 21-12 stat means he's a comfortable player. And I think it's okay to call here because we do have position. But folding isn't a bad option either because we could be dominated. So right now he's saying I have aces, I have kings, I have ace king, I have queens. I think I have king queen. I don't think it's three. He could be 3-betting with jacks, but he's going to be playing him out of position. So I think that's his range. And a lot of that dominates my king jack. Like the king queen beats me, the ace king beats me. My queen jack, he's not playing, so there's not much I'm beating unless he is playing queens or jacks. But then I only have one over. But we do call it terrible flop. And so now I guess what we're thinking here is okay. So he made a pre-flop range with the range of aces, kings, queens, ace king, ace queen, king queen, king jack maybe. Maybe he's betting jacks. So what is he making a continuation bet here of? Most likely nothing. And so far he's continuation bet both chances he got. So I think the only two plays available here are folding or raising. I don't think calling's very good because it doesn't tell you where you're at. If I just call, he still has aces, and I don't know if that king hits. If I raise, and the pot's cheap enough where I could raise to $2, and it's just going to cost me $4 total in this pot, it's better knowing now than getting stacked when a king hits and he has aces. And also, we do have full equity on the 3-bet, so I think a 3-bet's not a bad idea here. But I think folding might be a little better against this type of player who's very good. A 21-12 is a very comfortable player. So I think we should fold here. And flatting it. So we had 3 options. In order from best to worst is fold, 3-bet, call. And we decided to make the worst play possible. So this is going to put us in a bad spot because here's what's going to happen. That queen, or I'm sorry, the jack is going to hit or the king's going to hit. And he's going to bet. So right now the pot's $4. And let's say the turn comes a king. Yeah, the turn comes a jack. So we have jacks. We have top pair, good kicker, and he bets $3 into 4. So what's our play here? I think you still call here, but the problem is we could be dominated with queens, kings, aces, ace jack. All beats us. So we're no good even if a jack hits. So now let's say the king hits. Okay, so we have kings with a jack kicker. Sounds pretty good to me. And he bets $3 in the 4. Okay. We're getting like a little bit better than 1-to-1 odds. So that means we have to win this hand almost every time to make that pay. And we're dominated by ace king and aces and kings. Okay. Which are all in this player's range. So I think folding is definitely the best option, followed by raising, followed by calling. Calling is a terrible choice, and we made a bad choice here. And look at that, the jack hits. Okay, so this is a terrible position for us. Actually, I think it's better that's a jack hit than a king hit, because the king would be harder to get away from. And he does bet $2 in the 4. Okay, so now we think, okay, this player's a good player. He made a $2 bet into 4. And a jack hit. So I'm sitting with a jack with a decent kicker. So his range includes aces, kings, queens, jacks, ace king, ace queen, ace jack, maybe king queen suited. Okay. Maybe queen jack suited. Maybe. Doubt it. So what do we do here? Once again, fold. Maybe raise, but I think raise is completely out of the question. If you're not raising the flop, you're not raising the turn, I'd say. So I'd say folding is definitely the best possibility. Folding. And we call. Once again, the worst options. Now, if this was a terrible player, like one of the 60 the 60-40 players, then yeah, this is okay. But with a 21-12, I think we're beat all day, every day. All right, so the 2 hits, nothing changes except the pot. The pot's a lot bigger. The pot's at the size where we're gonna get stacked most likely, and he goes all in. I mean, the only thing that's going through your mind right now is he has aces, kings, or ace jack. I mean, queen's possible, but queen still beats us. What do we beat here? Nothing. We beat absolutely nothing. He's not making an all-in bet with anything better or anything worse than jack ace. So we better be folding this, and we call it, which I'm embarrassed to even click that button. I didn't know I called that. And I bet you he shows aces, kings, maybe queens, but very unlikely. Ace jack possible. And he stacks up aces. That's terribly played. Probably the worst hand we reviewed so far. Fold that on the flop all day, every day. Because if you think about it, how bad was that situation it got us into? So that's just terrible. Yeah, fold that all day, every day. Alrighty, aces. Let's reverse it on him. Alrighty, so we're in a small blind of 2 limpers. We do have to get value into the pot. Never slow play aces, because you're going to get sucked out on with people playing anything. Sorry about that, my cat unplugged my mic. Definitely don't slow play aces, because people are going to play whatever they want for free. So we're raising this, and we're going to make it 3 big blinds plus another 2 for each limper and 1 for out of position. So we should make this 60 cents. We do. Perfect. And we get 2 callers, which aces you want to play heads up, not so much 3-ways. And we do have a short stack, so that's not too bad. It's better than having another full 100 big blind stack. Pretty good flop for us. Both players are unknowns. And we go back to pre-flop and we think, okay, so they limp called. Okay, what are you limp calling with? Both these players. From the button, or let's go from under the gun, or cutoff. No, he's early position. Under the gun +1. Under the gun +1, what would a player limp with? A good player? Nothing. A bad, decent player could be limping with any pocket pair below 8s. He's limping with suited connectors above 5-6. All the way up to like 10 jack, maybe. I think he's raising with queen jack. So he's in that range. From the button, I'm limping. Well, I'm not limping ever, but a player's limping with a lot. He's limping with all pocket pairs below 7s. A lot of suited connectors. So here is a scary flop for us. We would rather see big cards than small cards. Pocket 5s are scary. Pocket 7s are scary. Pocket 10s are not scary because people are raising with pocket 7s. Is the under the gun limper playing, or I'm sorry, is the button limper playing 4-6 suited? Maybe. Is he playing 6-8 suited? Maybe. 8-9 suited? Very, very good chance. So right now we got to bet people off these draws. Okay, so we need to bet big. We have a very good hand, and a lot of draws are out there. We need to bet $1.75. If we take down the pot here, so be it. Awesome, we get paid. So it needs to be a big bet. $1.43. Like to see that a little bit bigger. Probably about 2-3 buy-ins more. Or I'm sorry, big blinds more. And we get flatted. Once again, we're playing from out of position. How terrible is this? Right now, we could be stacked with 5, 7, 6s. If he has the pocket pairs. The 8-9 got there. The 3-4 got there. If you had pocket 6s, they got there. This is so ugly for us. There's draws for the flushes still out there in the river. Oh, I think we bet here, but keep the pot small. So I think like a $2 bet would probably be the most beneficial. And we check. Okay. Is the checking a bad play? No. I don't think checking's bad. because, like I said, his range from a button limp includes all pocket pairs below 8s, all suited connectors up to and including 10 jack suited. So a lot of things just hit, okay? And if we would bet here, let's say we did bet $2 and he just flatted us. So we added another 4, so the pot's up to 8, okay? And we're gonna have then 5 back. Basically, we're all in because we're not giving up aces on this type of board. I mean, we can very well. A good player could lay this down if it comes into that situation. But checking is a good play. I definitely think it's the best play because it keeps the pot small. So he decides to bet it, and we have no clue where we're at. So he did the betting for us. There's 2 ways to play this now. We're not folding with aces in the micro limit in this situation here, so we're going to take that out. Too often not, the players are too bad, and they're doing this with 10-9. That's very possible. So we're not folding. But are we going to let him see another card for free? Probably not. I think the play's the jam. I think we go all in here since he made that choice, because we're going all in on the river no matter what. The only difference is if we go all in now, he doesn't get to see any of his draws complete. If you're sitting there saying you would lay this down, you're a lot better poker player than me. Because remember, this is the micro limits, and 9-10 is in his range. But there is a lot out there that beats us. I mean, it's one of these times, if we get stacked of aces, we get stacked of aces. So I think all in is the play. So right now there's like 720 in the pot, and we have 787. So we're gonna have 1-to-1 odds. That means we have to win this hand every other time to break even. And in this situation, I think we do. Because not only do we have to win the showdown, we have to win. There's also the fold equity. He could fold to our re-raise. Hey Chopper, what's up, man? Nice for you to coming back. I think this is the last hand we're going to review. We're going to do our leak tracker, then we're going to take another break, and then we're going to be playing some sit and goes and crushing. But we're doing one hand left, and it's a doozy. So I don't know how many people's paying attention in chat right now, but who would fold this? Let me know if you would fold this. Hit 1 if you would fold this hand, and hit 2 if you would call, and hit 3 if you would raise. I'm just curious. I'm sure no one's going to participate, but I'll give you guys like 10 seconds to figure it out. What are you guys doing here? 1 to fold, 2 to call, 3 to raise. And you guys are going to make me look like fools by no one participating. You'd cry. That's an option. See, when you're playing the hand, it's a lot simpler because you're not thinking in depth. You don't have 20 minutes to talk about a hand, so it seems a lot simpler. But when you actually break it down and think about it, it's kind of crazy. And do you guys understand why this is so important to go over your hands? Because in the heat of the moment, this seems very basic, kind of. But as you can see, we've had every range besides call. No one's saying call. And going over your hands, you can see the situation, talk about it. So if this comes up again, you could be like, okay, this is what happened last time, and this is probably the best play. We've already talked about it. We already decided what we should do. Calling's terrible, I would say, and everyone agrees with me. But now we have it split. Fold, 2 folds, 2 all-ins. I'm going to have to say all-in is the better play at this level. Because if we call, which is the worst option, I would agree. No one selected that. If we call, then we're going all in on the river anyways, because we're only going to have $5 left into a $9 pot. Folding, I mean, Queen 10 is in his range, 9-10 is in his range. King, if you think about it, he could be limping with King 10. I would limp call with King 10. Of course, I don't limp. I could see someone limping with King 10. I mean, that's possible. So he could be like top pair, almost top kicker. That's it there. I'm raising all in. I would say that's the play to do. And of course, I am a terrible poker player, and I choose the worst option, and I choose option 2. So, for the reason this is so bad is, say he was bluffing with 8. Oh no. Let's say he has, I don't even know what he could have anymore. Everything's hit. Uh, say he has 9. He has Jack 9 suited of clubs. I mean, he has 4 8s and all the clubs. So we're letting him see a card without having him to pay for it. So say he got in here, and we're gonna pull up a calculator, and we're just gonna show why this is a little bit better. Okay, so we're gonna put him on this board. Let's say he does have the Jack 9 here, and we have aces. Right now we're a 72% favorite. Okay, so he's putting money in as a huge underdog. Okay, about a 30% underdog. But he's not getting all his money in. If this is the hand we actually have him on, then we want all that money in the pot, because more often than not we're gonna get paid off here. Now let's put him on something more realistic, like pocket fives. Huge underdog now for us. But we're getting our money in anyways. If we're calling, we're getting it all in the flop. We only have 549 back in the pot. It's almost $10. And if you're saying if he bets $5 on the river to, like, let's say a 2 of spades comes up and you're folding there, you're crazy, because you're going to fold this flop too, or this turn. So we make the worst decision possible, and it comes up an easy blink. Well, not anymore. Think about it. King 10 is in his range, so maybe he just 2-paired on us. So you guys, I know there's a lot of regulars in here right now, and if you listen to me instead of just sitting in chat and I don't know what you do, go play Minecraft or whatever you do while listening, you know I spew a lot about position. Okay, and even with the best hand of poker, playing it out of position is so hard. We have no idea where we're at. This guy could have ace queen for all we know. He could have ace queen of clubs. He's not limping with ace queen of clubs, but I'm just saying he could have air, and we have no clue. And we're over here sweating balls with freaking aces. And I know how this is gonna play out. He's gonna push us all in, and for 2-to-1 odds, are we calling with aces in the micro stakes? I think you have to, but is that the correct play? No. So we're checking, and we're on our knees praying to God that he checks for some reason, which there's no way he is. I seem like the worst broadcaster right now, because he does check. And we take it down. My mind is totally blown. Alright, who saw that coming? Hit 1 if you saw that coming. Hit 2 if your mind is blown. That's insane. I don't even remember that hand, but yeah, I really thought we would be beat here. That's a very strange play, and just the power of position took that down. If he would have made an all-in river bet, are we calling that? Probably not. I mean, probably, because we're terrible at poker, but isn't that so weird? I mean, what could he have had? Sorry about that. Choked on my water. I mean, what do you guys put him on? What hands do you think he has here? I mean, it got checked down, and he didn't have anything more than 2 pair. Is he playing Queen 10? Maybe. Jack 10? Yeah. 9 10? Possible. 4 10? No. It's got to be something like Jack 10, I guess. So yeah, that's tough. That's a very tough spot to be in. Once again, power position. We were sweating balls with aces, and he made us sweat balls because he had the position on us. Very strange. Alright, last thing we're going to do before we shut this down is do our leak tracker for today. These are analyzing only today's hands. Once again, we are analyzing hands. Up here is our progress bar. The green So what Poker Tracker did is take the stats of winning poker players over long term. So the best players in the world, they took their stats. Green is ideal. White means not bad, could do better. Black means that's a leak, fix it. So pre-flop, playing the perfect amount of hands, raising. We're still in the good range, which is the best range, but we're maybe being a little too aggressive. But if you look at the combination of the two, we're almost in the middle, so we're fine. And we're 3-betting a little slow. We need to bet a little bit more. So our pre-flop play, perfect. Alrighty, our flop play. Pretty good. We need to be a little more aggressive. Yesterday was the opposite. We were being too aggressive. Now we're being a little bit less aggressive. Everything looks good. Alright, no leaks yet. The turn yesterday, way too aggressive. Way too aggressive on the turn. We shut that. What did he have? I lost the stream for a second and missed it. He. Let me see if I can pull that hand back up. Hero, one with aces. It wasn't two pair, one pair aces. That was this hand. He ended up on the river, so we checked the turn to him, called the bet. We check, praying to God that he would check back, and he did, and showed down nothing. We don't know what he had. So that's very strange. We won the pot somehow. Very crazy, very crazy. But you Choppa made the correct play. All in was the correct play, I'd say. Well, let's go back to our leak. So today, the turn. Yesterday was terrible. Very aggressive. Today, right on the money. Folding a little bit much, but we were working on that by being a little less aggressive. River play. We were okay. How much we were aggressive, but we were doing it too often. So we were definitely out here. Need to lower our aggression frequency, but as how we're being aggressive is fine. And folding to a raise bet is good. Flush draw. Let me pull that up one more time. Yeah, he could be having a flush draw, but what is he? Okay, you Gale. Putting you on the spot here, buddy. Oh, no, it's not a problem. So we're going to go over this hand one more time. It's good to talk about this hand because this is a very crazy hand. Okay, so it's this cat right here. He called a limp on the button. And if you're a good player, you know the button's the most important position in poker. You're going to win all your money there. What do you think he's limping with as a flush draw with that out there? Actually, let's just show the whole thing. With that out there, what could be his flush draw? So we're thinking Queen Jack suited. No, he's raising pre-flop with Queen Jack suited. I mean, he could be playing 2-3 suited, 3-4 suited, but 3-4 suited got there. 2-4 suited, he could be playing. He could be playing 6-7 suited, but then he has two pairs, so that's not an option. 7-8 suited didn't get there, so 7-8 suited very well could have been 7-8 of clubs. That's a very very possible hand. The 7-8 of clubs. 7-9 of clubs. Yeah. But is he really limping with 7-8, 7-9 of clubs? Maybe 7-8. Yeah, 7-8 he's limping with. I'd say a player would do that. So yeah, you're probably right. 7-8, 7-9 of clubs. Jack 7 of clubs. Queen 7 of clubs. King 7 of clubs. But if he has a King 7 of clubs, he's betting. So it's not King 7. I think he's betting. But the thing is, he checked the turn here. No, he bet the turn. No, he bet. So yeah, maybe like 7-8 of clubs. That's definitely. I think 7-8 of clubs. I think you're right there. Flush draw with the 7-8 of clubs. I think you're right. 7-8 or clubs is very good. Karsten Grin. What are you oh my godding there, buddy? So yeah, 7 to 8 clubs I think is a very good hand to put him on. We'll finish up our leaks real quick. How long time do you have in the back? I don't even know what that sentence says. How long time do you have in back? Go ahead and rephrase that sentence. Use a little bit more grammar. Low, not a live hand. Okay. No. We're doing hand reviews. You're at the very end of them. This is going to be recorded. Obviously, it's being broadcasted, but it'll be in my past recordings. I advise you to go back and watch hand reviews. Probably the most important thing to a winning poker is going over your hands and talking about them. Finally, our results. So, perfect, perfect, perfect. Very good. Not perfect because we were out one. Perfect, maybe. Yeah, perfect, perfect. And for some reason, we're still losing. Yeah, time bank. It makes sense now. So, how often did we win money in Showdown? Not even close enough. We went to Showdown good. So we're not winning often in Showdown, but we're going to it a lot of the times. So that's not a good combination at all right there. You're losing often and going there a lot. That's not good. Win money when Saul flop. This just means we didn't have very good hands for this session. Because if we ran well, obviously our number would be a little higher. And then win money after river call. Once again, this is terrible. Not good at all. Needs to be a lot bigger. So what this is saying is we're calling thin. So we're not giving the players enough credit for their hands. So that needs to be fixed. For our results, it's saying $18. We lost a lot more than that. So we need to fix that. So our positional play looks okay. Obviously, we were losing in big blind, small blind. Every player does. Winning good in the button and the cutoff. Nothing looks too out crazy here. Big blind to hand. Where's our big blind per 100? I don't see it. Why is big blind per 100 not up here? Alright, anyways, for some reason it's not showing that. Seems like a very important stat. Okay, is there anything else you guys want to see? I don't have any other hands marked right now. I guess we can go over some of our big losses and why we're such noobs. We went over that hand earlier. Okay, well, I don't think we went over this one. Okay, so we have King Queen. We did go over this. No, we didn't. We didn't go over this. Alright, act like you guys didn't see that outcome. Okay. Yeah. I can see where that could be confusing, man. No, we're just doing hand reviews now. Alright, so King Queen on the cutoff with the limper. We're making this 40 cents all day, every day. 3 big blinds plus 1 for the limper. Unfortunately, a 75-25 decides to call us from the button. When you have a player like him, unfortunately, there's no sample size, so he could just have 3 good hands. I mean, that means nothing right now. We're out of position now, which sucks. We hit top pair, good kicker, backdoor flush draw, and backdoor straight draw. Great flop for us, I'd say. His range is pretty wide, but it could include the king jack, which he ends up having. But it also includes jack queen, jack 10. So we're definitely betting out here, and I think we should bet like 90 cents or $1. And we bet 60. I think that's a little low. We could be betting a little higher here. And he raises. Once again, you're out of position, so it's kind of hard to say. No one's laying this hand down here. So we should flat check call the next check call it down, I'd say. $4 in the pot. we're pretty deep. He started at 100 big blinds, almost like 90. He bets half pot. I think you still call here, but I think you're expecting to lose to King Jack. But I also think you might be winning the like you might be beating like King 10. Something could be in there. I don't see much else. He could be trying to bluff the flush draw or a straight draw. He could be holding 10 queen of diamond. Or I'm sorry, 10 queen of hearts. That's definitely a possibility. But I think more often than not, you can get away from this hand at this point. I have 111 hands on my sample, and I'm playing 22-20, so he knows my range is really tight. Well, he doesn't know. Never mind. He just sat down. So he knows nothing about me. I know nothing about him. But I think we're good. That's a very scary card. I think we're folding to any bet here because if he was betting the 10 queen of hearts, we're beat. If he's betting any heart draw, we're beat. Maybe like ace 6 of hearts because he just flatted our bet. Any type of ace X hearts is beating us. Definitely the King Jack, which does end up beating us. There's a lot out there that beats us. Pocket threes he could be playing. I think he's 4-betting. I'm sorry, 3-betting of pocket jacks though, so I'm not too worried about pocket jacks. Pocket fives and pocket twos are definitely possible. But I think right now the best hand he could be having is like Jack 10 of hearts, Queen 10 of hearts, Ace X hearts, and obviously the King Jack. He bets small, which kind of sucks for us because you know that's screaming value. But that's screaming value as the flush, and we do have one of the cards as a blocker. And I think you call this. I mean, we're getting 5-1 odds here. I think we win this hand once out every 5 times, and we outkick him. Because I could see like King 10 here maybe that he's flatting us with. So King 10 we're beating. So yeah, I think we call here, and we end up beating him 1 out of 5 times. And we don't. So I think the bet on the river was bad on him because I very well could have been still playing the flush also. Did we go over this hand? That's just terrible. Yeah, I don't even want to go over that. Okay. We're going to take a half-hour break. We'll be back around 6:30 or so, and we will be doing 6:30 my time, so about 40 minutes. You Gailey, thanks for following, man. That means a lot. You guys are all awesome. We'll be back in about half hour, 40 minutes, and we're going to be doing sit and goes, and we're going to be crushing them. Right now, this is our stats for sit and goes. We have 85 tournaments played, 84 tournaments played, and we have cashes in 37 of them. Our in the money's 44% of the time we are in the money. Return on investment is 27%. We have 29 finishes in first place, so that's pretty good, I'd say. I mean, I'd say that's pretty good. I don't know what that is. That's just hands played, chips won. That's kind of a weird stat. That's all 0. That's really weird. So we're gonna be doing sit and goes later. We are going to be back in 40 minutes. So if you guys want to stick around or come back in 40 minutes, that'd be great. Once again, thank you guys all that have followed today and have followed in the past couple days. I've been streaming for a couple days. How much is Poker Tracker? Poker Tracker is Poker Tracker is going to be. That is not what you guys want to see. You guys are already watching that. Poker Tracker 4. Assuming that you have a small stakes bankroll, it supports up to 25 no limit, which means you have to have $500 to be playing this limit. Not many people play limit poker. And then sit and goes, which is 11 buy-ins, which means your bankroll should be 440. So if you do not have at least $440 in your bankroll, you're going to be buying the small stakes, and it costs $60. But the problem is if you play on, no, that's not true. It's not 99 because you can afford the small stakes unless you do have a large bankroll. The small stakes version works perfectly fine, and that's what I'm using. Especially if you're following the bankroll management. Ray Riley TV. Yes, thank you for following so much. You rock. I appreciate it so much. Every one of you guys are awesome. And for both you guys, Ray Riley and Ugali, every time you guys get aces, I hope you stack your opponents. Yeah, I want it. No, if you don't have $440 in your bankroll or your online bankroll, affording the small stakes is fine. Question: who asked about Poker Tracker? Ugali, are you playing on Bovada? If you are, I got to show you something else. So what poker site are you playing on? Okay, so it's going to be a little bit more expensive for you because you're going to need, if you want the HUD, so the HUD is, so we pull up a hand. The HUD is this little box right here that shows stats. This little box, you can click on it, it shows all these valuable stats. If you want that and you're playing on Bovada, you need to buy Bovada Card Catcher. Okay? Bovada Card Catcher is made by Ace Poker Solutions. And you need to go to Poker Software, not just the hand converter, because the hand converter is something different. It's called the Bovada Poker Catcher and Bovada HUD. This, if you play sit and goes, it's $39.99. If you play cash games, it's $39.99. If you play both, it's $60. Okay. Now, if you don't care so much about the HUD, you could do the hand converter. The hand converter is $34.99 for both, or $16 each, which doesn't make sense. Oh, it counts Omaha. Okay. Because you could have just bought, okay, never mind. Anyways, for that to work, if you don't care about the HUD, what you do is you go into your Bovada, into your account. Mine's already been updated, so I would go to like Ring Games, go the last 7 days, and see how this says download now. The hands I haven't downloaded yet, these say all available for download. I hit download now, and it's going to go ahead and request downloads. It might take a few minutes for it to actually download. See how this says requested. This says open file history. They're not downloaded yet. Also, I'm going to do my sit and goes. I don't think there's any. Yeah. So now we wait a little bit, and what we do is we're going to go ahead and open. Yes, Poker Tracker HUD is as good as Hold'em Indicators HUD. You can just go to your hand converter here, and then you hit convert file, hit OK. It's importing all my hands here that we just downloaded, and I think there's going to be a lot of them, so it's going to take a second. And since you're playing on Bovada, the HUD isn't too important because it doesn't keep session stats past what you're sitting at. So if I'm sitting at 2 tables and player A gets up from table 1 and he moves to table 2, I won't have any stats on him because he's a random player. So we just imported 1,600 hands. We're going to go ahead and close that. We're going to hit stop getting hands because we're not playing. And then we're going to get hands from disk, select the directory, which I already have selected, which I can show you later, and then hit OK and OK. And now we're going to be importing the hands into our software. A lot of these are going to be duplicates because obviously I'm running the card catcher. while playing. So it looks like all of them are going to be duplicates. But that's also, well, we do have some new hands. So there you go. So we got some more hands included. And then you can just view your stats like normal. This way, if that's what you want to do. So. Anything else before I take my short break? Alrighty, guys. If you guys want to, you save me from a ton of money. Also, if you need to rewatch that, you golly, if you click on my name at the top where it says "Let's grind 1K to 1K starting to 85, currently 209," which is a lie because we're currently like 150 now or whatever it was, 140. There's a video on there and it shows how to do the Bovada hand catcher. So, taking a short break. Be back in a half hour. Come back, watch me crush some sit and goes. And I think I can teach a little bit better in sit and goes because I think that's more my game. So I will be back in a little bit. I'll see you guys.